The system will be our most important asset in dramatically reducing the number of illegal aliens that are able to live and work in the United States. There are many proposals for practical, effective, biometric-based employment verification systems, and the Immigration Subcommittee will be vetting each of these proposals during its upcoming hearing in July. Fourth, the fourth principle is that we must create a mechanism whereby all illegal aliens presently in the United States on the date of enactment of comprehensive reform must quickly register their presence or face immediate deportation. Illegal aliens, however, will never register their presence unless the government provides some mechanism for these individuals to eventually obtain legal status and a path to citizenship upon acknowledging they broke the law and agreeing to pay their debt to society. The people who advocate enforcement-only approaches fail to understand that many illegal immigrants have risked their lives to come to the U.S. and will risk their lives to remain in the U.S. in order to provide financial support desperately needed by their families abroad. The majority of the American people understand that expelling tens of millions of people is simply not practical and will ultimately fail. Just as the American people are strongly against illegal immigration, they're also strongly against turning the country into a round-up republic where they'll be confronted by nightly news stories of sympathetic families being torn apart at gunpoint during harsh enforcement raids. The American people prefer a pragmatic solution that works to empty rhetoric, however satisfying, that fails. Fifth, we need to recognize that reuniting families is an important value of our immigration system. By dramatically reducing the number of illegal aliens who are able to enter the United States, we will create room for both families and employment-based immigrants so that the total number of immigrants to our country is no greater than today. And the age-old fights as to how we structure future flow can really be muted so that both sides are happy. Sixth, we need to recognize the important contribution that high-skilled immigrants have already made and must continue to make toward revitalizing and reinventing the American economy. No immigration system would be worthwhile if it is unable to attract the best and brightest minds of the world to come to the United States and create jobs for Americans, as has been the case for Yahoo and Google and Intel and eBay and countless other companies. That being said, any reformed immigration system must be successful in encouraging the next Albert Einstein to emigrate permanently to the United States, while at the same time discouraging underpaid temporary workers from taking jobs that could and should be filled by qualified American workers. Finally, any successful immigration system must include a process that channels the current substantial flow of illegal immigration of low-skilled workers into a more manageable and controlled flow of legal immigration tied to American economic needs. Any immigration system that seeks to dramatically reduce illegal immigration must be realistic. If we were to attempt to end all future immigration into the United States, as some on both sides of the aisle might want, we'd simply create a system that encourages immigrants to seek to penetrate our weakest areas in order to enter illegally, because no legal pathway would exist for those who only wish to create a better life for themselves and their families. A broken system produces crooked people. But if, however, we give people who might otherwise immigrate illegally, especially people who are currently willing to risk their lives to make it to our country at all costs, a realistic hope that they'll be able to immigrate legally, but only when our country's economy will support their arrival here, we would then create the ideal, multifaceted system for combating illegal immigration while remaining true to America's founding principle of being a nation that welcomes and is made richer by legal immigrants. Now, the road ahead won't be smooth, and I can assure you it'll certainly not be straight. I've been involved in the last two major immigration bills, and I know that well. But, as you can see, I'm working as hard as possible to achieve the goal of comprehensive immigration reform And I'm convinced that we will soon have a bipartisan bill on the floor that incorporates these 7 key principles, each of which the American people overwhelmingly support. I want to thank so many of you in the audience for your years of hard work and contributions to this debate. And I ask all of you for your much-needed support as we proceed ahead toward the ultimate goal. I look forward to announcing positive developments in the upcoming days. Thank you.